Yo. Oh wait, fuck, my shit's fucked. Hold on. No! Ah! Is it fucked? Hold on. Is my shit fucked? Shit's a little fucked. No, it's not. Never mind. I'm just seeing shit. I'm back. Again. Booth. I was on vacation for a while, so here we are. Actually, can I... Oh shit, that looks really fucking whack. I just want to get that knot in the background. By that, I mean my room. There? There we go. Okay, chill. I gotta do something real quick. Hold on, I thought I was set up for this, but I'm not. Actually, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We'll leave it as is. I'm here. I'm back. And we're playing some cutesy shit because I need that right now. Alright, we were doing D shits. I did the Firefly one last time and before we cut off. Because I don't know. That felt cute. No, we're not ending summer yet. We're going through all these. Oh my god, wait, this is so cute. Just gonna jump right in. Okay, so we are the character, and then we have Cove? Yeah. And new person, making friends. He's here for the summers. And then my tea out of my little cup I got for myself. Dude, but look at this. Look. The craftsmanship on this is fucking awesome. Yes, hello? You can be my shoulder cat if you want, but you gotta come up here. Right. Co's dad. Okay. Come back before it gets dark. Alright, sport? It's sport. I should call my kid that. I don't have a kid. Let me clarify. I have someone who I consider my kid. I swear to God. That's my cat. Okay, bud. Okay. Oh, the familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. It's Cove's dad. And Cove. Cove's dad, though. I need to shut up. Cove waited in front of his dad and pushed his green hair back off his face where the breeze— oh, ow. Hello. Where the breeze had blown it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only mild amount of attention as he was waiting handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Oh yeah, Dad tried to pay us to be friends. And we were like, no. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, and maybe you made a noise because the second later, his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You gotta learn to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of sand, and then jogged over to the two, smiling at Cove first and then his dad.
Jamie!
It's so cute. Look at the little kid. Ah! Jamie, hi!
How's it going?
Why is he winking at us? Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Jamie? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail. I'm gonna do voices. Shut up. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After he finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, and are preoccupied with folding the bills into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores. Like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Oh my god. They're going on a play date, but like, to go to the stores. No, I did not mean to do that. I have no clue how old these kids are. Great. I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. He found it odd, since your moms only seem to have cards in theirs. Ouch. I felt that, though. Like, I would love to have cash on me. But... I'm broke. Here. Oh my god, stop! I keep, like, my finger keeps twitching and left clicking. I'm just gonna take that off. He leaned in to pass the crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. I got something for you. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening it back. The bill in his hand still held outwards towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then, with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed him, intrigued the possibilities this outing might bring. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide, creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, and there weren't any clouds, or many clouds. Many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. He took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt in the ocean air. When he looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searching the ground intently. Are you looking for snails? Are you looking for shells? What is it? He didn't feel the need to ask why. Nothing. He kept staring at the ground, though. You bit down on your lip a little, wanting to say something else, but not knowing what. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise. You played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly. Then a wave rushed in more than a few times. Although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. You didn't either. What do you want to go for the shops for? You usually go on the beach? I need a new sand pail. Yeah? What happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, seeming to think deeply for a second.
Whoa.
It disappeared. What? Really? Cove ducked his head down, wasting his fingers behind his back. He didn't seem like he was going to continue, so you nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well, Cove opened his mouth and shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. And when I got home, it wasn't there. It wasn't anywhere. You left it there? Nope. It wasn't at the beach when I got back. Then you lost it. It disappeared.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? Yes, little cream? Oh goodness. Hello. Hello. Hello, precious. I don't come to the beach a lot. I like swimming. I like looking at fish. I like building sandcastles. What would I do? I feel like I would like swimming, honestly. As a kid, I love swimming. But I also like looking at the fish, too. It was like a mix of things. I'm trying to think. Thinking a little too hard. I'm gonna sip my tea. Oh, I got a piece of watermelon. To explain that, so I started making tea, like, you know, growing stuff and then drying them out, and boom, tea. I did that, and I had lemon balm, and I decided to mix some watermelon in there. Not half bad. I added honey, which made it a whole lot better. I love my cat. I like looking at fish. They don't like me, so they always swim away if I get close, but they're pretty before that. Cool. Starfish are fun. They aren't going anywhere, even if you touch them. A small laugh escaped you. That's true. He looks like a bunny rabbit. Cute. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No! Wrong button. My bad. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day. The call of the birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. Ooh, it sounds so good. It was nice. It's not very nice. It was alright. It's nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you. There was a bounce in your step as you began to look at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do. You didn't know where to begin. It makes me think of my hometown a little bit. Like, we didn't have like seawater, we had fresh water, but it was a tourist town, and it's like the shops and Looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other, and look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? He pointed at a large crowd of people gathering near a few tables, with large colorful umbrellas blooming from the middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking that way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! Ah, no! Log. In the center of the crowd, there's a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that he had 3 long tails. There's a little table next to him with the cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander," in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name when it's already on the sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then he turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began to shuffle a deck of cards. Cove glanced back at the man, then he briefly lifted his arm off his side before returning them to place. You grinned, waving him to follow you as you raced back to stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to curious onlookers. It was 4 of diamonds. Ah, no! Why does this keep happening to me? Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers, and the card just disappeared. Whoa! Unimpressed. He's like, this bitch is really out here. The Amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Back away. Nothing? It was true. You didn't keep anything there. He felt a tug, and when he pulled the 4 diamonds out from behind your ear. What? Oh my god, no, why does he keep doing this? You knew it couldn't really have come from your ear. You still didn't get how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. Ooh, Christ. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from the clump they tied down from his table. They were in the shape of a dolphin instead of a normal circle. And this one's for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now we're really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does this every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. He spoke plainly while reaching over to take a dolphin that had been designated to him. Maybe he wasn't so special. Ko was just bringing the fun. Well, I had a fun time. He wondered if Ko's family was magic. I'd say at least have fun. You saw a magic trick, and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. You thought if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you can make it disappear too. Oh, that's so sweet. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. Oh, I know what those are. Kaleidoscope. It took me a second. I was like, what the pick up the kaleidoscope. Rubik's Cube, Magic 8 Ball. About past the toys. I like kaleidoscopes. Oh, these are cool. What? Oh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eye. A whole palette of colors appeared right in front of you, spinning into all kinds of different shapes as you twisted the end of the tube. Ko picked one up and looked through it, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. He went under the awning, carefully with his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. Did you have a place like this in your old town? Are you having fun? I don't really like it here. Said nothing. Do you have a place like this in your old town? Ko blinked at you for a moment, and you wondered if you shouldn't have asked. You knew how much he missed that place. Not really. You nodded in understanding, looking over a stall nearby. Oh! Shark! While Cove looked at the sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out. They were sewn in the shapes of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front of it. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Shark! Shark! Shark. Your hand stopped on the shark. A devious smirk filled with sharp teeth on its face. You weren't supposed to go near sharks in real life, and there was something about the shark you liked, and the fabric on the back was soft when you picked it up. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
It's fine. Wait, really? Really? Are you sure? Hurrah. I normally go for the you don't have to. Because I don't know. I usually decline people who are like, oh, let me spend money on you. And I'm like, no. Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hand, and that was that. He was holding the small yellow bucket for himself, too. Oh my god, I'm getting a shark! I was always going to get you something. I already got the money for it. You smiled, pleased that things to have worked out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the stores side by side. Your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey, Cove? Yeah? Your dad give out a lot of money, huh? I really like this keychain. I'll be thankful. I really like the keychain. Thank you. It's nice. He's so cute. Oh my god, kids. Cove looked further down the street where the different fruits carts lined up. He rested on his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while looking for delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious. Different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over you. Your stomach growled even louder. You passed up after passing hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Pretzels are so good. Oh my god. Oh, I want a pretzel. Not really, but if I was really hungry, I'd eat the chips I have right next to me. And cheese and onion Pringles. So good. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you, I'm getting cheese. Cheese. You lick your lips hungrily, and a vendor handed the pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. You're covered in gooey, melted cheese, in just the way you liked it. It seemed odd to get a dessert pretzel before eating normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. Ugh. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Go place his bucket on the table, and he stared at it as he still balled up his hand, and there was a wrap that was wrapping around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know! After carefully placing the pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin down out of Cove's hand and tied it to a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh! Cove bounces up, his arms up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching the balloon jostle around and remain attached, he smiled and satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand and a string already tangled around the other. Okay. Got it. The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free, able to munch on your pretzels. Oh my god. Pretzels! It's the little things. It's the little things that make me happy, I swear to god. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue. A smile. You looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon, bringing it down to your level. Then, you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned your face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced up, Cove had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. Oh! Mine's name is Merryweather. He's the prince of dolphins. My name is Splash, the star in movies. My name is Cherry. She's actually an alien. My name's Sand. They're just a regular dolphin. Ooh. I feel like the regular dolphin works. My little kid brain would not come up with anything special. Oh my god, though, my shoulder started burning. I've been doing this since elementary school. Besides, think about how great it would be to have a pet dolphin of your own. What's yours? Ko considered this question, placing it against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's a loud pop, and the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no. For a second, Cove did a gap in shock, like you, then his cheeks puffed up and his eyes squinted. He saw tears start to glisten. No!
Jamie!
Oh my god! Jamie! You make a joke. You offered to find Alexander. You offered to give your balloon. I would do that. I would instantly be like, take it! Don't cry! You looked at Cove, then at your balloon, bobbling gently in the air. You can have mine! It was better than letting him cry more. Cove sniffled, glancing at the balloon, then back at you. No. It's yours. I don't want to take it from you. It's okay, really. Cove shook his head. Even though it wasn't your fault, you felt bad. Still, the offer seemed to lift Cove's spirits, and that was good. Oh. Bing bong. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. Oh my god, dude. Christ. Christ on a stick. Give me 1 second. Gonna hide myself real quick. Crack my back. Christ. Okay, hopefully my shoulder will stop trying to off itself. Christ. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, while Cove went straight home. With his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves, the sunset, fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for the sad final note. Oh, those are cute. One sweltering summer day, you were in a living room with Cove, listening to the sound of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside that afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient, waiting for her golf class that evening. Golf. Excuse me, I used to work on a golf course. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits. You felt like it was too warm for anything, like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. We don't have to play outdoors anyways. There's always inside and telling everyone they're too busy to play.
Why? Duh.
I said why? It'll be fun. Duh. What do they do inside that we don't, besides use the phone a lot? Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decided to ignore Cove.
What do you think?
Jamie, what do you think? What do you want to do? Cove said that doesn't sound fun. I bet we could come up with something else. I don't know. I want to. I want to. You do? Seriously? Yeah? Hurrah! Oh wait, no, not hurrah, sorry. Hooray! Okay, let me think. What do we want to be? Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought of her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you. Okay, I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Jamie, you and Cove can be a beach volleyball player and a gymnast or tennis player. Why can't we pick what we want? Because I have a fun idea, that's why. And we have to play sports as adults? Yep. Okay, there's other kinds of sports too.
Right?
It isn't the same. What do you think, Jamie? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? I like this. It sounds like a blast. Isn't there anything else we can do? Maybe not. Lizzie turned the scowl. She started practicing just for Cove towards you. Practically radiating frustration, you sang back down. You already said you were going to play, so you knew you might as well pick one. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude, though he didn't bother to talk more about it. You thought over the list of possibilities: beach volleyball, gymnast, or tennis. Out of all of them, you preferred to play. It's between these two. Honestly, I really like gymnastics. If you can't pick to spend time... if you can't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, might as well practice them inside. There weren't as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast.
All right.
How about you, Cove? I picked volleyball because I thought he was gonna pick volleyball, so that's why I was like, I should also leave that for him. I should have known. Okay, so Jamie, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're popular on the beach volleyball team. And Lizzie's ponytail bobbed when she proudly stretched her arms wide. We're Olympic athletes who competed in the Olympics. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted his glasses on his nose. That's real specific.
Rude.
That's what makes it fun. Anyways. Lizzie marched back and forth in front of both of you, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all gold medals and people are calling me the next Mikey Wright. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot, turning to him, her brown eyes shining with impatience. It doesn't matter if you know who she is. It's a golf thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Jamie, you barely missed out on gold and got silver. It's more real we're not all in first place. Lizzie. Silver sucks. I don't want silver. I'm okay with that. Hey, we can do better than silver. Silver's nice. Silver's not bad. Yeah, it's normal attitude. It may not be first place, but you knew the silver medals were still really good to get at the Olympics. And And it isn't gold. Oh,
Sorry.
but it isn't. A lot of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks. And you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie looked taken aback at Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way! It wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invisible ball. So what kind of house do you want to live in? Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him. Apparently, because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. I'm gonna live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. It's kind of boring. We already have that. No, not like normal houses here on the street. On it, right on the sand, by the water. Just like that, the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you want to live. That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells. But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything? Jeez. Well, I'm going to live in a mansion far away from here. Far away from you. Jesus. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golf.
It's not fair.
How come you were yelling about mine when yours is more impossible? Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling the fists at her sides. It's not impossible, and it's better than yours. The disagreement always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together. Or disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. When it came to the topic at hand, this time you thought you'd prefer a mansion. Being on the beach was cooler. I wanted to agree, Lizzie. Cole was right. You were tired deciding between either of them. Cole was right. Cole's idea is good. I shouldn't say yours is the only right one. Or you shouldn't. No one asked for your opinion. He smiled slightly over the agreement, then turned to Lizzie with bolstered confidence. You can swim whenever you want if you live on a beach. You can still swim anytime you want where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. The two of them scolded at each other. You're being so unreasonable. You... I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense.
Ugh.
It does! You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not? I had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them just kept working up at each other as long as they could. Nothing you said so far had kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed over, hanging on to the hem of her shirt, and poking out a tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Jamie, it's time to get ready to go.
You alright with that?
Wait, sorry for you having to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie. His face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But... Bye, Jamie. There was a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but he knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried, Mom turned back down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend? weren't you? You told the truth. I'm telling the truth, bitch. Fuck that. We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister saw a job, looking betrayed, as Mom put both her hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed up, replaced with a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was... No buts. No buts. You both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his father over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. He caught a piece of Lizzie's sulking herself about how it was his fault too. But it was over. Oh, right, we better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Neolani, where'd you leave the car keys? It's a nice looking car. Jesus. Mom hustled all of you out the door. Actually, no, it looks like the link in the address. Or used to. Mom hustled all of you out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to the golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say anything. Your parents noticed she wasn't in the mood to be bothered. They gave her space. Mommy asked you what you'd like to listen to. You picked your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. You chose a soundtrack to a cool movie you saw a couple months ago. You chose a song you knew Lizzie liked. Maybe cheer her up. Yeah. You were happy to see it brightened her right away. She started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, I spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with the other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day. You stretched your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping by the horizon, you were all ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took you out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you all had been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting, and you hadn't been able to stop. But you could kind of tell it all helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, and there was only radio providing escape from the silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming, and you all got back home. She clearly was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto our street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silence. No one spoke. Only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So,
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in the driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Their moms are really cute. Mom went over to the house phone, and the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched from the back. The only thing happened. It was only happening because you told on Lizzie. You didn't regret it. You felt a little guilty, like you betrayed your sister. You hadn't liked doing it, but you had to. But it was her fault for doing it in the first place. probably regret it. I'd be like, but also that's my friend. You can't do that. You hadn't done anything wrong by telling the truth. It wasn't like Lizzie was going to say it on her own. The four of you stood around the kitchen and owl house. What? I'm sorry. In a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number of Dakota's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head. Another nod. Sullen. It didn't. And without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached out over to press the button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple times, and it stopped when Mr. Holden's warm voice came on the other end. Evening, Holden residence. Lizzie looked over at Mom, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Rain? What a surprise! Of course you could say hi, hey, to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though that definitely meant it when he said it. Wait, hold on. Though it definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Can you stop biting my hand? I swear to God. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Naoli. Ow. Naoli. Jamie and I are here too. Good evening. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. He spoke with say hello too. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Holden. The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned as Mom quickly reassured him. No. Well, yes. It's gonna be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today, and we were hoping the two of them could talk and make up. Is it a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he was really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good you didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove, there's someone on the phone for you. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie talks just so she can talk to you. Jamie's on the other end listening too. Don't want to say hi? It's Jamie what gets him over, isn't it? It's fucking Jamie. It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove came to the phone from his dad.
Hi.
So offended. Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me.
Sorry.
Hold on. I fucking skipped over shit again on accident. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, and Lizzie turned away. I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. Yeah, she was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he slightly sighed. I want gold, and I think Jamie should win too. Really? He thought you were worth gold even though you hadn't even wanted it? Lizzie was momentarily stunned by the demand. She had probably forgot what happened earlier today. Alright, we all win gold. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms, while Mommy's shoulder relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought, don't bite my feet, that he refused her apology. Yeah, my sock doesn't taste good, does it? Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious Cope felt awkward about the situation. He'd come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. But make sure to say goodbye first. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jamie. He perked up and mentioned name. He smiled even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. Yeah, little cream? Okay. And with that, with that said, Cove must have handed the phone over to his dad and left since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All is well that ends well. I always think of the song when I read that. As they say, thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciated it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged Mom's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded in agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. They couldn't tell what about. They were glad that this was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. That's so cute. Ah! Dude, it's been 50 minutes? Jesus. I got lotion on the handle. Rip. Oh, but that tea was really fucking good. I'm excited to start making more tea. Probably. I have to get a DLC to get these. What does DLC stand for? Hold on. I'm looking this up. Snapchat? Hello? Oh, people texted me back, finally. Like, I can't say that. I'm horrible at texting back. I have no right. My typing has been so messed up lately, I don't know why. Downloadable content. Oh, that makes so much sense. Anyways. Taking a bite of my chips. Like, I need a second. I'm also out of tea and I'm kind of sad. I mean, I have more tea upstairs, but I'm gonna mute myself. I'm also gonna open my messages because fuck everybody. Why do I look like that? The fuck? Milk! No. Bruh. Bruh, no. Also, I opened that. It was like a hand statue thingy. I'm only opening a select few messages. Because other people can fuck off. If I actually open your messages within a day, more than just acquaintance. For like multiple days in a row. Other than that, I'm ghosting everybody. Oh shit. I'm gonna message them back, hold on. That reminded me of somebody who died on Snap. Discord! Fuck. No, Discord, fuck off. Can people see what I'm doing right now? Yeah. I'm giving a hint to anyone who's on Discord to come join me because I'm lonely. Anyways. I'm gonna. Ow. Okay. Okay. Long day. For real. Actually, today went by really fucking quickly. Ooh, I want ice cream. No, I don't. Ignore that. It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner had... Hold on! The kind where no sooner had you finished 1 cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Okay, gotcha. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon, it was just you and Shiloh. Oh, excuse me. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. Made you feel pleased, frustrated, nothing really. Let's say pleased. You'd not be in the double digits like your sister, but he was only 7. Being the oldest and getting to be the leader was kind of nice change of pace. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy, cold, and refreshing. Something sweet. Something like lemonade, I'm guessing? Oh shit, I could choose. Oh, I was just thinking about this. Oh my god. This happens so often that it's like, I'm never around people when it happens. No, I am sometimes. That's more so like thoughts about other people. It's like, I'll be like, I'm thinking about something, and I just outright say it because I just got to the point in life where it's like, well, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna tell people around me because why the fuck not if it's like silent, you know? And people next to me are like, oh my god, I was thinking this exact same thing. It's like this rarely happens. So it's like, especially in a situation like this, because it's like, there's been multiple times this game where this has happened. But I just don't say it beforehand. And then it happens, and I'm like, oh my god. Which is the way to go? Popsicles are really good. It's like an ice cream sandwich. You crave soft ice cream sandwich between 2 cookies. Sandwiched between 2 cookies. Oh, that's why it's... Something being called a sandwich is because it's stuff sandwiched together. I think, unless the word sandwich came first and sandwiched came after. Wait, hold on. This stuff just made sense in my brain. Hello. There's nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your mom didn't keep sweets in the house. Mood as a child. We did have sorbet though. No, sherbet. We had the rainbow sherbet with like the 3 different flavors. It was like lemon, lime, and whatever the fuck that pink one was. It was so good. Raspberry. Oh my god, it was so good. That's like my childhood. And I put it in like the little cones. Oh my god. I need that right now. Outside, there's plenty of places where such goodies could be attained, but there were shops and demanded payments in exchange for their products. You sighed, your voice predicament out loud. You asked Shiloh for help. That's what I said. As much as you really wanted the treat, it wasn't gonna happen. What's wrong? I want an ice cream sandwich. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I have any. Shiloh rummaged in her bag proudly, and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus 1 stray button. He set the button aside and counted the coins in a neat pile. Just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh, and he almost certainly came to the same conclusion, but he'd been watching you expectantly. That's not enough.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands deep down the crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers. Most of what you found was ooh. If I remember to do this when I have kids someday, because I know we all, went to the couch to look for money on occasion. Like once a month, I might put a couple dollars down there, no matter how rich I am at that point in time, just so. And if it's still there, leave that till next time. Like, whoever finds it gets a cash grab. I feel like that'd be a nice thing, a surprise to lighten someone's day. I like making people happy. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust and sandy crumbs, but every so often, one of you would strike a silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Oh my god. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Okay, never mind. I didn't do it. It was just glitchy. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pooling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as he counted the coins again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? You figured he knew the answer, but you appreciated him recognizing your authority on financial and ice cream matters. You straightened up before making your pronouncement. Yep, we got enough. $2.53 for 2 ice cream sandwiches. And this economy is gonna be like $5. The fuck? What? You could only afford something at shops. Just one thing. But it was definitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside. A promise of sugar buoyed you onto your destination, where, breathlessly but happy, you started an overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had to contribute the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause. Aren't you gonna get an ice cream sandwich? Shiloh asked, as though entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with the stake of the outcome. Do you mind? He cocked his head to the side. It was your idea. You should choose. You went ahead and got what you originally wanted. You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. Yeah. It wasn't fair you're the only one to decide when he had been the main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came from directly from his backpack. No, I can't rip that off. I have this little thing with myself. I get like these kind of like paper wristbands. I see how long I can wear them before they fall off. Not plastic ones though. Those ones will come off for shit. Actually, no. I do that a couple times if they're flimsy. If they're not, if they're like hospital ones that are like really sturdy, then What do you think? All of them. They're so good. You pressed further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice cream? Which is your favorite? It's hard to pick. I don't know. Frustrated, you cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. And that was that. You had dessert you originally hoped Shiloh would like too. Finally, your reward was all your hard work was in your hands. You bit into the ice cream sandwich. A chewy chocolate biscuit complemented the ice cream vanilla inside. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
Oh, the child is a blessing. No! He didn't want any? After everything he helped out with? That was weird. Well, you accept offer. You tried to include Shiloh. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you'd seen on TV or read, in a book that said sharing was caring, you stood your ground, even if the treat was trickily dangerous towards your fingers. It's only fair that you have some. We both bought it. But you want it more than I do. And getting to play was a lot of fun already, so you can have it. That's more fair. You held it out to him. I want you to have some, even more than I want to finish it. So eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took a treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up. It's really good, thank you. This is what I strive for in life. That's what I want to see. I want to see people be happy and light up like this child right now. Ah! That's why it's like I always see the last thing. Like there's something. Like I know we were sharing together and it wasn't specifically mine. I would be like, I'd leave the last one. Unless it's all the last one that I'm coming across. And I didn't have the one before that, then I'm like, hey, mine. It's something that we share. If it's something that belongs to someone entirely, like, not my touch, I don't touch. But I leave the last one for whoever wants it next. Or if someone was really looking forward to it because they knew it was there. Not always, though. I will admit, I am selfish sometimes. I'm not fucking perfect. But, like, on most occasions. It's really good, thank you! You smiled, pleased with your good deed. You picked the best one. Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice no matter what happened, even if he hated it. He knew he wouldn't say no. He wouldn't say so. He's me as a kid, bro. Maybe he thought it was gross, and it was the real reason he didn't want to take some. You have no idea. It's life. Don't talk with your mouth full, kids. You studied him as he ate a little more, and with every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird. The two of you began to head back to home as he ate. You walked side by side the shore, and your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It's almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid. He figured his problem and didn't care. You're scared of me? That was kind of sad. So are we friends? Shiloh's eyes opened widely, seeming caught off guard by the blunt question.
Yeah, I think so.
This kid's so cute. Ah. He says that, but friends should be able to talk to each other without being scared. Shiloh wouldn't do that. Were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. This kid's so cute. Ah. I'm sorry. You weren't sure how sorry he was, but without knowing what he had even apologizing for. But you shook your head. You didn't do anything. It was true, Shiloh hadn't done anything mean, gone out of his way to make sure you were happy. That didn't seem like it should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you. I just don't know if you like me. It's like it doesn't matter what I do. You're gonna act the same. I could be anybody and you wouldn't care. No, I like you. I really like you. Jamie, I want to be friends. Okay. He smiled hesitantly at him and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if he believed you, this was only making things worse. You decided maybe there were all types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been confusing ones. You're positive one thing at least. The treat was delicious and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two familiar figures, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make a presence known to them just as you saw tears on Cove's face. What? You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you, defending Cove, take a moment to make a joke. Carefully ask about what happened. With that time machine, the only way you're going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something, or she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even came to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story. Cove, what happened? Jamie, I got yelled at. Hold on, Jamie, I got yelled at. I took a deep breath, He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of a nearby house. Her heart sunk. He knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out a condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them. But the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice, like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. Uh-huh, I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do? No, I'm gonna stay away. Or you could teach them a lesson. A devilish glint in her eyes. What? You could ding-dong dish them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great, because they're so slow they'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
She said it, I didn't. Cove glared. It didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you. You're not chicken, are you? Yeah, cluck cluck. I just avoid them. You thought they deserved worse. I'll do it. Yeah, cluck. Isn't that just saying like, yeah, I'm a chicken, cluck cluck? Is that what they're saying? I hope it's what they're saying because I want to say it. She can't tease you about being a chicken if you are. In fact, a chicken hunched over, you folded your arms and formed wings and bat them up and down. Bok, bok, bok! For once, your sister seemed at a loss, but it didn't take long for her to regain her usual confidence. So you admit it! You continue flapping your wings as you circle your sister, clucking all the while. There's no shame in being a chicken. And no shame in a chicken being a chicken.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, you're a chicken. Things are not going the way Lizzie expected. She fought against a laugh and looked like there's a way to restore her serious authority. You and Cove are both little chickens. Oh my god, this is so cute. Baga. Cove full his arms, though one with the calves wasn't tightly tucked down, and joined you in cheeping around. It was hard to cluck through the giggles that rose when you saw him intimidating a chicken. Still, both gave a first-class performance. The door to the old couple's condo flung open to reveal the culprits behind Cove's tears. He froze. Wings raised. Can't you let anyone have some peace and quiet? You must not be a fan of theater or farm animals, as well as kids. That was the only explanation for his outburst, which was far louder than anything you and Cove had done. Go on, beat it! It was discountedly unfair, but Cove's lips trembled and you thought it would be best to heed his command. I would have been like, fuck you, bitch. Not really. I would have been Cove. I would have been crying as a kid. Anyone like talked to me overly loud and I started bawling. So remember this one time. I'm not gonna dive into that right now, actually. No, actually, I am. I was 4th grade. I was walking, like, I don't know. There's one, like, racist teacher that was, like, kind of scary. And, like, she said something. She was substituting, and I was walking into class. I was alone. And they said something. I don't remember what. And I just started, like, tearing up and crying. They're like, well, why are you crying? And I was just like, I don't know. Sometimes when people talk to me in a certain tone, I just start crying. And to my surprise, she's like, yeah, I do that too sometimes. And I was like, I think about that to this day, and I'm like, huh. Even the one I thought was scary. I don't know, it was just a moment that made me think of her as, I guess, not scary anymore, just, you know, a person. Lizzie took off, with Shiloh immediately trailing after her without as much as a glance in your direction. So much for your friendship. He waved an arm at Cove, summoning him to follow you, and ran after Lizzie. The old man's hollering propelled you all from the street and the sanctuary of the hill. And once you were safe, did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs? You flopped down, blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath, enjoying the feeling of the cool grass against your skin.
Cove.
Hey, Cove! Oh, god damn it. Cove lifted his head. I told you there was a mean grandparents around here. Cove rolled his eyes and then decided it wasn't dismissive enough to roll his body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response, started chatting with Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be a second fiddle again to Shiloh. Once Lizzie came around, it always went that way. It was fine, you thought. It still felt a little sad after how much time you spent together that day. It was always annoying. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Shiloh could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted. God damn it. There are other things to attend to anyway. You wriggled closer to Cove, and he calmed down, for the most part, and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pitched hello. Very cute. Sweet cat. He calmed down for the most part, and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pitched the stem and tilted the white petals towards him. That's a poppy. Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement and then back to the flower. And the type of poppies on this hill are the name White Linen Poppy. Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger on the edges of the petal. It doesn't feel like cloth. You need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released a delicate plant. Evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower. I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Oh, my heart. That's a lot of options. They're probably not gonna have my favorite one in here, but like, there's a lot to pick from. Mine too. I like roses. Buttercups are buttercups are great. Snapdragons are cool. Hibiscus is mine. Paninis. Sunflowers. Tulips. Orchids. Type your own answer. I like flowers. I care about flowers. I could type my own answer? Hold on, I gotta figure out if this is plural or not. Okay. English may be my first language, but I'm very dyslexic. Water lilies, huh? Neat. Oh my god, this game is so fun. Who the fuck texted me back? I'm checking, because there's literally no one in- Oh, hello? Fuck yeah, Josh. Anywho. Oh fuck, I gotta get up at 8 in the morning. just remembered that. It makes me sad. My friend asked if I want to buy the sandwich. So. Okay, water lilies are my favorite type of flower, and you can fight me. I fucking love those bitches. Dude, also the art in this game is just lovely. It's lovely. I looked high in that. You watch your back with a small smile and you look up at the darkness. At the darkening sky. Rose eyebrows look like a lightning bolt. The blanket of clouds reminded you of the thick throw you curled under a cloud. Under a cold... Oh, wait, what? Hold on. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under or on cold, rainy days. You wondered if the cloud would be soft. They lazily floated by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. Saw a dolphin, a car, an alpaca, smiley face. You saw a cloud shape. Sure. I used to think dragons lived above the clouds when I was little, and like sometimes, if they were resting, you could like see their shadows, like if they were like resting on the clouds. I wholeheartedly believe like dragons were up there. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Or like creatures that evolved to be invisible so humans couldn't see them. Smiley face. You saw a smiling face looking down at you. You nudged Cove and pointed at it. It looks like a smiley face. The animation too! Oh my goodness. Cove joined you and looked at the sky. The clouds twisting, turning, the dots making the eye into one line. It's winking at us. Aw, you chuckled at the silly face. I fucking love this dude. Although the sun's light faded from the sky and the moon rose higher, Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from bare legs and surveying her surroundings. The ocean, the visible crest of the hill, beckoning every sweep of the tide. Let's go to the beach! There were no arguments from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh, and Cope would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child of the sea. You wanted to go there too. I want to go there too. So you eagerly joined the others in the climb, in descending the hill down to the water. You stepped into the sand for your second time that day. It felt different at night. The beaches were nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sandcastles and footsteps in the sand too big to belong to any of you were the only indication of how busy it was. It had been hours earlier. Sorry. The four of you kicked your shoes off and removed socks along the water's edge. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop bothering you. You're trying to sleep. The waves tickle your feet. I wonder what happened if you tried to take a bath in an ocean with shampoo and everything. It would be bad for the fish. That's what I thought when I saw my dad doing that one time. Well, it took his fucking two-in-one shampoo from Walmart. Fucking went in the water and just washed his hair. And I just kind of sit there like, bruh. The fuck? The only way I would do that if I had like a type of shampoo that was like would not hurt the nature around me. I know there are kinds out there. I know there are. I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be so serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It hurt the fishes. I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun. Thank you, child. Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious. Never heard Lizzie use that word before. Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. And when your mom comes to pick you up, hey, when your mom, hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. She's busy. How about your dad? How about you never talk about him? Nobody does. Oh. Do you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they've never talked about? You kept your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even as Charlotte never seemed upset when topics came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both your moms. It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Jamie. I don't have a dad. But I don't have two moms. I just have one. She's really great. Sorry. I only have one now, too. Mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just me with my dad.
Sorry.
I never had a dad or anything, so I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone. Cove nodded. He joked about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad. Ayo. If we're all different, our parents are good in their own ways. I would say that.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he's about to cry. Ayo.
I caught
My friends are hot. Goddamn. Yeah, little cream. Cove couldn't muster a response. You don't think he truly disagrees, though. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sudden sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot with an outstretched kick. Foot was still outstretched from the kick. Jove joined in, striking the oncoming the incoming waves to splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. You made a run for it. You retaliated. Use your foot to smack the water from the pool around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back at your sister. You laughed as she spluttered, some of the salty water having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck! Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey. As well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were silently forged and broken wordlessly. Everything was fair game in war. Ah! That was such a ah. Shadow's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet. Caused him falling face first into the ground. That would have been bad enough without a wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain. As you all hurried to check on him, his hair was plastered to his head, and his soaking clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy. Are you okay? Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
You Dumbo.
Way to go, Shiloh, you dumbo. You offered him some help up. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand, and after a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh, too. He reached over and took it. Oh. And slowly he started to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them. Sorry! There were the odds of that happening twice in a row. You thought they must be low. There's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose just to pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy. That didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. Numb. Don't know why I did that, but numb. Do I have any cider left? No. Barely. Yeah, it's been sitting out since yesterday. That was mildly disgusting. Especially with the Pringles I just had. The four of you... Twitter. Calm down. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps in the sand in your wake. Damp clothes may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side in the cool breeze flowing past. Your moms were outside, chatting with Cove's dad. We're back! Your mom's faces fell as they took the state you were in, ranging from messy to soaked.
No.
Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. I certainly did. What's Marigold gonna do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that what you want him to be for a long drive home? Cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's matted hair. You've been making memories. Bucko. I said buckaroo, but I was like, there's no R in there, so I don't know how to say this. It's bucko. You've been making memories, bucko. I'm glad to see you have a good time with your friends. Cove used a slightly moist cast to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they had found a less risky way to spend time that had just as much fun. Oh, I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun. That might be right. Kids, what can you do? Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove. Let's get you cleaned up and dried off. You don't want the cast to have to be reset. Cove winced at the thought. Okay. That a boy. Cove's dad's great. I fucking love his dad. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
The brain malfunctioned. Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Night, Rain family, and Shiloh too. Resigned to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arms in order to turn around and wave goodbye. Smiling and waved back. You waved back. Good night!
Fine.
Well, we better do what we can to fix you guys up. Come on, everyone inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom. Yes, Mom. Okay, Lizzie's mom. Don't worry about stopping to wet your feet in the mat this time. That won't do much good tonight. Sitting on a beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall until it was less sandy and you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without the hat for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath like as she hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session. At least that's what she claimed. Not much longer. It would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you're glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. That was so fun! Okay, there's one more. And then we're ending the summer and we're moving on to the next bit that I'm so excited for. It's almost been 2 hours. It's probably gonna be 2 hours by the time we finish this last bit. Oh, this is a short one. I think I might actually hold on. Real quick. Oh, I did not mean to exile that completely. Welp. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna do something real quick. Haha. Bitch. Okay, so I'm gonna end this little bit here. And I am going to just take a break and then I'm gonna come straight back to this because I feel like continuing this for like 4 hours is gonna be a lot. So yeah, I will be back in a little bit. See ya.